Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Julie with Bookshelf by Julie. Today we're going to be finishing up our Christmas ornaments or Christmas sampler, whichever way you want to do that. We're doing this guy today. Freebie on my website, Ko-Fi, and Facebook group page. So wherever you want to get that at, this is the one we're doing. He is adorable. He looks like a baked gingerbread man. I used the stem stitch around on this one instead of the tacking stitch. You can use a tacking stitch. But yeah, I used the stem stitch to go around. It gave him that little swirled look kind of thing. And I used the satin stitch for his bow tie and the tacking stitch for his outfit. And some French knots, straight stitches, tacking stitch for his little smile, things like that. So let's get this one done and we will be finished with our sampler, with our ornaments. I've got 3 colors that I'm using. This is the blue I'm using, that same color, maroon color, and then the gingerbread brown, because today is the gingerbread man. Okay. Oh, and I did go back and put a button down there for that, whatever that's called. So let me get hooped up because I forgot to do that, and then I'll be back and we'll get started on this guy. Okay. I had to get a little creative with my hooping because that button, you can't put that in the, it won't work that way. So I had to be on an angle. That's okay. We do what we do, right? Okay. So I'm going to start out with our gingerbread brown, and we're going to do the head. I know it would be really long if we did the whole thing, but we're going to do the head, and then I'll show you some of the other things I did. So yeah, I thought that the stem stitch would work really well for the outline of the gingerbread man, simply because it just has that little bit of a swirl or what have you. So yeah, so if I can do it now, do the stitches as small as you feel comfortable with doing them. The one I did on that one over there, I didn't even have it in a hoop. I just worked outside of it, in my hand, which is fine. So and to me, doing the stem stitch is kind of easier out of the hoop, but since I'm going to be doing some French knots here in a minute, we'll just leave it on the hoop. So yeah, remember with the stem stitch, you want to keep your stitches going kind of the same direction. So if you're holding this up here, continue holding it up here. If you're holding it down here, you know what I mean? Just keep it going that way, so that you don't have one this way and one that way. Yeah, just as small as you feel comfortable doing them. They're not difficult, so, and it's, I don't know, we learned these pretty early on, didn't we? We went through these. Yeah, pretty early on our samplers. So yeah, I think it does. It just gives him that little bit of a baked bread look. He is the gingerbread man. You guys remember that old poem? They made it into a kid's book, I think. Anyways, you can't catch him. He's the gingerbread man. Okay. Don't do that. I'm telling myself that. just go right around your line for your shape, and try to keep your stitches as consistent as possible and as small as you're comfortable with. So take your time. There's no hurry, is there? We've got plenty of time. And like I said before, when you're doing these, maybe they're not for this Christmas, maybe they're for next Christmas. So then you can really take your time. Or you can make a bunch of them throughout the year. And have them for next Christmas. No hurries, no worries. Just doing our little stitches. Keeping them as consistent as possible. Now, they don't have to be perfect, right? They just have to be. And yeah, you don't have to have them in a hoop to do this one. This is one of those that's, to me, yeah, easier outside the hoop. But maybe to somebody else it's easier in the hoop. I don't know. So, do what you do. It just makes a really pretty crusty look, right? I think. If you're doing the tacking stitch, just be careful on all of your corners and going around and stuff. You would have to start and stop several times because of that. But yeah, it's all good. If you want to do the tacking stitch, you could do the back stitch around this. Really, you could. That would be just fine. So you could do the split stitch. That would work. You could do a chain stitch. It might get a little bit thick looking to do a chain, but it would still work. Anything you can use to make these stitches, to do the curves. You have a lot of curves on him, and to me it just made the best sense to use the stem stitch, because you can curve and you can go straight and you can do, all the things you need to do with a stem stitch. And it looks like a bread crust, just saying. I mean, it looks like a stem when you're doing a flower, but when you're doing something like this, your mind automatically goes to, oh, that looks like the crusty edge of a gingerbread man, right? I don't know. In my little mind, it does. So yeah, just simply go around, stay on your line as much as possible. This is one of those that you could draw on easily onto your fabric if you didn't want to do the printed one. You could definitely draw this one on just using the lines that you want. You don't have to draw all the little squiggly thises and that's. You could just, do that. But, like I was saying a while back, a lot of people do the painted fabric. They'll paint the fabric with ink or with acrylic paint or whatever paint they want to use. And then they'll do the stitches over that. Well, to me, printing is easier and less messy. Just saying. There's a lot of different ways to do textile art, and that's what this is really, is just doing textile art. Using fibers and fabrics and things, because thread is a fiber. Anyways, that kind of thing, right? So, yeah. Textile arts. It includes quilting, it includes all kinds of stuff. So, this is another reason that it's easier for me to do it off the hoop to do these, because you can just keep turning it around in your hand easily. This thing gets in your way when it's in a hoop. But for the video purposes, this is what I'm doing. So, that's fine. It'll be fine. We're going to finish the head, and then we're going to do the face because it's so cute. And I use the same thread to do the face and these buttons, or whatever they are. Little dollops of icing, or I don't know. Anyways, whatever they are, I'm going to use the brown to do those, because they're about the same color. Oh, I did that, didn't I? I want to go, I need to see what I'm doing, getting this stitch in there, right? Okay. Now I can pull it through, no worries, okay? And then I'm going to go in here. And for the next stitch, I would come right up in here like so and head out this way. So you just have to do strategic, you know, just strategic, and then go that way, okay? So what I'm going to do now though is I'm going to go back in here like so, and then I'm going to do the face, because you kind of have the idea now of the stem stitch around the head. Come along now. There you go. And we're going to go in and do, oh, let's start at the top. We'll do his little eyebrows. Just little lines. I mean, you know, pretty simple to do that. And the other one. I didn't do anything for his little cheeks. I left those as is, but you can do some, you know, whatever you want to do, set and stitch or French knot, whatever you want to do. That keeps getting caught on that thing. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a 3 around for the eye, right like so. Now if you're doing these, the 3 arounds are a little bit bigger. Some of them sit down in there really nice and do fine. And some of them want to get a little bit, I don't know, loppy on you. So if they do that, go back up in there and tack them down, right? I showed you how to do that in a previous video. So just go back in and tack them down if they try to get all droopy or loppy or whatever. That kind of thing. Really. Okay. Those ones sit down pretty good. Then I'm going to do a 1 around on his nose because, yep, it's cute. The 1 arounds you don't have to worry about so much. They're pretty simple. They don't get loppy on you. It's the 3 arounds that can get a bit loppy. Oh, that one did a little loppy. Let's tack it down like I showed you before. We're just going to go right up in under there, just because, so that I can show you. If it gets a little bit, I don't know, like it's moving around or something, just go right down the middle of it. And sometimes you're going through a knot. Sometimes you might have to get some pliers to pull that through. See if I've got any in here. I got some up here. I always keep a pair of needle nose pliers for just such an occasion, you know. You would think I would break the needle doing that, but now it's tacked down and it's not moving anymore. But it doesn't break the needle to do that. It breaks the needle just when I'm sewing. I'm on a thing about that. Okay, so I'm going to go, no, I'm going to do the mouth first. I'm going to do the tacking stitch on the mouth because it's adorable. It is. And so you want him to smile, of course. So we're going to put the tacking stitch right in the middle so that he's got a smile. Right like so. Isn't that adorable? Then we're going to tack each end just because it's cute. Just a little tack. Come along. Really? Okay. Okay. Now you can use less than what I'm using. I'm using all 6 strands. And you can use less than that to do your, especially like your mouth and your eyebrows. You can do less, but you know, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to go down through here and do these because they need done. So you get a good opportunity to practice your French knots here. If you don't want to do the French knots, you can always put a bead there, or even a little button if you had some tiny buttons. That would work. Okay. So yeah, it gives you lots of places to practice your stitches for sure. Okay, so we've got all that practiced. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stick this up here out of the way, and we'll do our little bow next. I think it's just some satin stitches. I did sideways ones. Sideways this way, and then the middle I put up and down. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Okay, so what I found when doing this, it's better to start out here and work your way in than in here and work your way out. It just works better, believe me. Okay. So yeah, we're just going to do us some nice little satin stitches, just like when we did the berries, right? Just make it cutesy. And now you can do a different color on this bow. It's fine. You don't have to do it blue. If you don't want to, you can do it whatever color you want. I'm just kind of matching up with the color that's underneath, you know. So there's that. And just with the satin stitch, you're buttoning it right up next to each other and going right in next to the other stitch. That's getting in the way now. I need a pin cushion over there. Maybe I'll find one that I can attach to my hoop holder. Wouldn't that be cool if I could attach it to that? That would be awesome. I gotta go on the look for something like that, or make one myself. They say necessity is the mother of invention, something like that. So maybe I'll make one myself. I don't know if they make one to go on a hoop holder. I have no idea. I've never seen one. I just know that it would be nice if I had one over there to keep my stuff out of the way. It would. It would be nice to have one over there. And then I could just, you know, start and stop whenever I wanted with whatever color and all the things. So, yep, it would work. I'll have to give some thought to that one. It'll be a project. Okay. There we go. Now you see, I did sideways on all these, and I'll do this way over on this side. And then we'll do the up and down ones. Up and downs in the middle. I think that'll work best for us. Yeah, he turns out really cute. And he's going to look really cute on the Christmas tree or wherever you want to put him. Again, don't get in a hurry. Just breathe. Take your time. You'll come out with something really nice on the other end of taking your time. Right? I think so. I think so. And follow your shape as much as possible. The bow tie isn't the same shape on both sides. It's a little bit different, and you'll see that when you start stitching it, but that's okay. It's a little different, but no worries. I'm going to overlap some of my stitches, sure am, here so that I don't get too far down on the middle, because I've got more out here than in there on this one. And it's okay. We're just trying to keep our shape as best as possible. And just get your stitches in. Leaving your room in the middle so you can differentiate between the outside stitches and the middle of the bow knot, I guess. Yeah, the bow knot. Okay, almost there. me check and see if I didn't knot up. Okay. I think I'm okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to go right back in here. There you go. Now we're going to do our up and downments. For our center, our bow knot, and there. It's just a little bitty place to put a few little stitches, not too much, not too much, just a few little stitches to do our bow knot. I think it's only like 3 or 4 that actually gets this one done, because you've already got a whole bunch on both sides, right? Okay, so down here you can see on this one, I think it's the fabric, and you couldn't see the little tails for the bow. So I'm going to go in here and make a chain, a detached chain, and have that as my tail for my bow. Different fabrics, you can see different things. White, like I said before, you can see everything. You can. And so there's that. So on that beigey fabric, you can't see as much of the detail. So if you want a lot of the detail, do white. And yeah, then you've got more detail. And there. This twisted right up. So I'm going to untwist it to do this. There. Okay. Now, come along, you. It's going to be ornery on the last blue stitch. Come on. What's going on? Okay, now I got it. There. Alright. Now we've got our little bow in. Super duper adorable. Okay. I'm going to put this over here. And we're going to do a little bit of the tacking stitch just so you can see what I did. And then we're going to be done with him. And next video we'll start putting our ornaments together. So, yeah. Pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and start right here with our tacking stitch, she says. Okay, and then we're just going to go down here. Follow the lines. It's really easy to do. Just follow the lines and do your tacking stitch. It's one of the simplest ones to do, so I'm not going to do the whole thing because I know the video is getting long. I know. So just follow the lines, and I'm using red. You could use whatever color you want. I just figured I would match up with more or less the color that's underneath it. So yeah, that kind of thing. Just do your tacking stitches down. This one actually came together a lot faster than I thought it was going to. And yeah, so just put your stitches in where you need them. Come along, gosh. Well, I've got pliers out already, so I will just use them. Probably went through a knot or something. Let me see what's going on. Okay. All right. Be ornery, why don't you? Okay. Then we're going to go right back in here. Tack it down. Get those threads out of my way. And then do these. Yeah, it's got a nice little line to follow there. So this is super easy to do, the tacking stitch. And I did it all the way around his little jumper or whatever this is he's wearing, his little outfit. So, yeah. I just followed the outfit and did the stitch all the way around. I think it makes it look cute, gives it an extra dimension. There's lots more you can do on this one. You can do the little squiggly lines. Oh, now that's going to get in the way too. How fun. You can do the little squiggly lines for the icing on the arms and the legs if you want. I didn't do those because, yeah, I figured they're a background color for mine. So there's that. Yeah, just do the little, but you can zhuzh them up any which way you want. There's a lot you can do. You can do little bitty tiny, there's little bitty dots in here for icing and such. You can do those in little one around French knots or colonial knots. There's a lot you can do with them. Or you can just finish them up. Whatever you want to do. I don't know. To me, I was just finishing him for the video. And so that I can get him on the tree. Because I want to put him on the tree, right? It's been my goal for this whole time. Okay. So yeah, just go around the lines of his little outfit. Do your tacking stitch. These are going to be so pretty. They really are. Yeah, I went ahead and put a button down on that one too because it's cute. Okay, so long enough. Do your gingerbread man. Let me know what you guys are doing. If you're getting them done, if you're going to have them for this Christmas or next Christmas, whatever you want to do. Let me know. You guys make something pretty today. Take care. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. TTFN.